Imagine waking up to the sound of birds singing, the first light of dawn breaking through the clouds, and the soft rustling of leaves as the world stirs to life. This is the moment when possibilities stretch out before you and everything you need to navigate your day is waiting just beyond your grasp. But do you see it? Do you feel it? This gift that has been laid out before you, quiet, serene, yet potent enough to shape the very course of your day. It's there in the stillness, in the unspoken, waiting for you to reach out and claim it. But here's the question: how do you claim it? How do you open the door to the blessings that are ready to flow into your life to transform your day, your heart, and your soul? Today, we're going to embark on a journey where we stand at the threshold of our day with eyes wide open, with hearts prepared to receive what the universe has in store. You may think that the day ahead is just like any other, a string of hours waiting to pass. But I'm here to tell you that today can be different. Today can be a turning point, a shift in perspective, a realignment of your soul. It's not just about surviving another day, it's about receiving something powerful, something transformative. The key is to recognize it, to be open to it, to welcome it. It's not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. As you step into this new day, take a moment to pause. Right now, in the stillness, you have the power to shape the course of the hours ahead. Your heart beats, your breath flows, and within that rhythm, you are alive with potential. The question is not what the world will throw at you today, but what you will receive in return. Will you open your arms and invite the blessings that are already waiting for you? Will you walk with grace, and when obstacles appear, will you have the strength to receive what they teach you? Because the blessings aren't always in the sunshine. Sometimes they come in the form of storms, in the form of struggles. And yet these too are part of the dance of life. They are part of the plan. Let's consider for a moment the simple power of gratitude. It costs you nothing, yet it can turn an ordinary day into a radiant experience. You wake up and you breathe. You open your eyes to a world filled with infinite possibilities, yet so many of us move through the motions, unaware of the quiet blessings that are present in every moment. There is grace in the sunrise, in the laughter of children, in the warmth of a smile, in the scent of fresh flowers. It is everywhere, if only you choose to see it. Now imagine that today you decide to truly receive it all. The joy, the challenges, the moments of stillness, the noise, the success, the failure. All of it, a blessing. Imagine the shift that will happen within you. You will begin to notice the small things, the way the light falls on a leaf, the sound of footsteps walking by, the way a friend greets you. It's in these small, seemingly insignificant moments that blessings dwell, waiting to be noticed. The beauty of life is not in the grand gestures, but in the tiny, everyday miracles. But here's the thing: you cannot see them unless you are present, unless you are open to receiving them. Too often we go through life distracted, consumed by what's next, what's ahead. We forget to take a breath and look around. But the secret is in the pause. The secret is in the stillness. When you stop chasing the next big thing and simply receive what is already here, you invite the blessings to flood your heart. You begin to notice how the world has conspired to support you, how everything you need is already within your reach. You just have to stop, to listen, to open yourself to the miracle of each new day. Think about the power of words. We speak to ourselves all day long, sometimes harshly, sometimes kindly. But what if today you decided to speak words of affirmation to your soul? What if you greeted yourself with love and encouragement? The words you speak to yourself shape your reality. You are the narrator of your own story. So why not make it a story of grace, a story of blessings, a story of power? You have the ability to shape the energy of your day with the words you choose to believe. When you wake up in the morning, don't just roll out of bed and rush to the next task. Pause for just a moment and breathe. Close your eyes and think about the blessings that await you. They are not always easy to see, but they are there. Perhaps it is a kind word from a friend, the opportunity to learn something new, the simple fact that you are alive to witness another day. These are blessings, big and small, that are part of the fabric of your life. And if you take the time to recognize them, you will begin to see your day through a different lens. Your attitude, your willingness to receive, has the power to turn a challenging day into a beautiful one. Life doesn't always go according to plan, but you can always choose how to respond. You can choose to see the obstacles as opportunities for growth, the struggles as lessons that will teach you something new. Every moment, even the difficult ones, carries a blessing if you are willing to look for it. As you walk through your day, remember that blessings are not always what we expect. They don't always come in the form of success or ease. Sometimes they come in the form of patience, resilience, or quiet moments of reflection. Life's blessings often arrive disguised as challenges, wrapped in the packaging of struggle. But within those moments lies the seed of something greater. If you remain open, if you remain present, you will discover that even in the toughest times, there is something to be gained. Today is a new day, a fresh beginning. You have the power to step into it with your arms open wide, ready to receive whatever blessings come your way. The choice is yours. Will you see the beauty that is already present? Will you receive the lessons that are waiting for you, even in the tough moments? Will you welcome the quiet joy, the unexpected kindness, the small miracles that are unfolding all around you? The blessings are here. They have been here all along. It is simply up to you to open your heart, your mind, and your soul to them. Every day is a gift, a chance to receive, a chance to grow, and a chance to live in harmony with the world around you. So as you begin today, ask yourself, am I ready to receive what is already mine? Am I ready to let the blessings of this day fill me to the brim, to let them guide me, to let them carry me through every moment? There is something magical in the simplicity of living with open hands, ready to receive whatever comes, both good and bad, with grace. So many of us spend our days trying to control everything, trying to map out every hour, trying to anticipate what will happen, planning for the worst while hoping for the best. But what if we let go of the need to control every moment? What if we trusted in the flow of life, trusted that everything will unfold as it should, and that our role is simply to receive it, to accept what comes with an open heart? The key to receiving is not in our actions, but in our mindset. It is in the way we approach the day with humility, with a heart that is willing to see the good even in the midst of difficulty. We don't need to manipulate the world to suit our desires. We simply need to open ourselves to it as it is in all its raw beauty and complexity. There is a kind of grace that comes with receiving, not just when things are going well, but especially when things aren't. The grace is in the acknowledgement that even in the tough moments, there is something precious to learn, something valuable to carry with us. You see, life has a way of teaching us things we never expected, things we never planned. It's in the unexpected encounters with strangers, the random acts of kindness that seem to appear just when we need them, the quiet moments when everything else fades away and we are left with our own thoughts. These are not random occurrences. These are blessings quietly moving through our lives, waiting for us to see them, waiting for us to claim them. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday, or even the day before. Today is your day to receive. The greatest blessings are often the simplest ones. We are so caught up in the pursuit of more, in the chase for success, that we forget to appreciate what we already have. The warmth of a cup of tea, the comfort of a familiar face, the sense of peace that comes with a deep breath, it's all here, in abundance if only we would stop for a moment to notice it. The blessings are not hidden from us, they are all around us, waiting to be recognized. They are in the stillness, in the quiet moments that pass unnoticed, in the everyday things we take for granted. But you might wonder, how do we open ourselves to receiving these blessings? It starts with being present. So many of us are running, racing through life, consumed by the next task, the next goal, the next achievement. We are always looking ahead, never truly living in the moment. But when we stop and just breathe, when we take a moment to sit still, we begin to see the beauty that is right in front of us. The blessings are not always loud or flashy. They don't demand our attention. They are subtle, gentle, waiting for us to pause long enough to notice them. And sometimes it is in the struggle that the greatest blessings are found. Life does not always unfold in the way we expect or hope, but that does not mean there is no value in the struggle. In fact, it is often in those moments of difficulty that we are gifted with the most profound lessons. We learn about our strength, our resilience, our capacity to overcome. The trials of life, while challenging, are also opportunities for growth, for transformation. And in those moments of hardship, if we remain open, we will find blessings in the form of wisdom, courage, and compassion. It's easy to think that blessings only come when things are easy, when everything falls into place. But the truth is, The most meaningful blessings often come when we least expect them, when we are at our lowest, when we are tired and worn out. Those are the moments that test us, that shape us, and if we can stay open, if we can receive the lessons they offer, we will find strength and grace in the most unexpected places. It is in the fire that the gold is refined. The most precious lessons are often the hardest earned. The world is full of distractions, noise, chaos, demands, expectations. But in the midst of all that, there is a stillness, a quiet place within you where you can find peace. It's in that stillness that you can hear the whispers of blessings waiting for you. If you take a moment to center yourself, to connect with the present, you will begin to notice the abundance that surrounds you. It might be in the sound of the rain, in the feel of the earth beneath your feet, in the kindness of a stranger's smile. All of it is a gift. All of it is a blessing waiting for you to receive it. But what if we don't feel worthy of receiving? What if we've been hurt, disappointed, or let down? What if the weight of past experiences clouds our ability to accept the good that is offered to us? It's a common struggle. We often find it easier to accept what is difficult, to believe in the hardship, than to trust in the goodness of life. But here's the truth: you are worthy. You are worthy of receiving love, joy, and abundance, not because you have earned it, but because you are human, because you exist. And the very fact that you are alive means that you are part of a greater whole, a vast and interconnected universe that is always working in your favor, even when you cannot see it. Sometimes the biggest barrier to receiving is the belief that we are not enough, that we are somehow undeserving of the blessings that life has to offer. But that belief is a lie. You are enough just as you are. You don't have to prove your worthiness. It is inherent in your being. The world is not waiting for you to achieve something before it grants you its blessings. It is simply waiting for you to open your heart and your mind to accept the beauty, the love, and the wisdom that are already yours. Receiving is not about passivity. It's not about waiting for things to fall into your lap. It's about being willing to embrace what is already here, to say yes to life, to say yes to everything that comes your way, knowing that each moment carries with it a lesson, a gift. It's about trusting in the flow of life, knowing that everything you need is already within you and around you. Your job is simply to open yourself to it, to receive it with gratitude and grace. Every day is a new opportunity to receive, to grow, to transform. You have the power to shape your experience, to choose how you respond to the world around you. The key is in your willingness to be open, to be present, to be grateful for what is, rather than constantly seeking what is not. When you live in a state of receiving, you begin to notice how much you already have, how much love, joy, and beauty are already present in your life. You begin to see that blessings are not something that need to be earned or worked for. They are simply a natural part of existence, waiting to be recognized. So today, as you go about your day, remember this: the blessings are already here. They are waiting for you to open your heart, to see the world with fresh eyes, to notice the small miracles that surround you. Don't let the busyness of life distract you from the simple gifts that are available to you at every moment. Let go of the need to control, to predict, to plan. Instead, embrace the present, knowing that it is enough. You are enough. And today you are ready to receive. There's something deeply powerful about allowing ourselves to simply exist in the present moment. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive, to achieve, to do more, there is a quiet rebellion in choosing to be still, to simply receive what the world is offering without the pressure to earn it or qualify for it. We often talk about success as though it is a destination we must constantly work towards, but what if we shifted our perspective? What if we saw success as the ability to be present, to embrace the blessings that come with each breath, each step, each moment of our day? Think about it: when we are constantly in motion, always pushing forward, it becomes easy to overlook the subtle wonders that surround us. We focus on the next thing, on the next task, the next achievement, the next moment we think will finally bring us happiness. But what if true happiness isn't something that comes in the future, but something that is already available to us right here and right now? What if the greatest blessing we could receive is simply the awareness that we are alive in this moment, that we are part of something far larger than ourselves? To receive is not to be passive, it is an active choice. It is the choice to look at our lives with a new perspective, to see the beauty in what already is, instead of waiting for the perfect circumstances or the right time. We have all been conditioned to believe that we must first achieve something, whether it's success, recognition, or wealth, before we can receive the fullness of life. But life doesn't operate on these terms. The universe doesn't wait for us to be perfect, to have everything figured out before it sends its blessings. It simply invites us to receive it all just as we are, imperfect, flawed, beautiful, and whole. The act of receiving is about letting go of control, of surrendering to the flow of life. We often think we must work hard for everything we get, that we must struggle and strive in order to deserve anything. But what if the opposite were true? What if receiving requires no effort at all? What if all it takes is a shift in mindset, a willingness to be open to the blessings that are already here, waiting for us to see them? Life's greatest gifts aren't things we have to chase after; they are already here, in every moment, in every breath. But receiving is not always easy. Sometimes it requires vulnerability. It requires us to open our hearts, to let go of the fear that we aren't worthy of the good things in life, or the belief that we need to do something in order to be deserving. We have been conditioned to believe that we must earn our worth, that we must prove ourselves worthy of love, success, and happiness. But what if we didn't have to prove anything? What if we were enough just as we are? What if the only thing we needed to do was to receive what the universe is already offering us? It's in this letting go of the need to control, to manage, to make things happen, that we truly begin to experience the fullness of life. The truth is, we can't control everything. We can't predict the future, and we can't always shape our circumstances the way we want them to be. But we can choose how we respond. We can choose to see the beauty in the struggle, to recognize the gifts hidden within the challenges. Even in moments of hardship, there is something to be learned, something to be gained if we are willing to look for it. The blessings may not always come wrapped in the form we expect, but they are always present, always available. Think about the most profound moments in your life, those moments that changed you, that shaped you into the person you are today. Were they always easy? Were they always filled with joy and comfort? Probably not. The moments that truly transform us often come from the hardest experiences, the times when we have been forced to confront our deepest fears, our greatest struggles. But within those moments, there is always something powerful, something that, if we open ourselves to it, can lead to greater understanding, greater compassion, and greater strength. And it's this strength, this resilience, that is part of the gift of receiving. When we choose to accept the challenges, the discomfort, the unknown, we open ourselves to growth. We stop fighting against what is happening, and instead we embrace it. We say yes to life in all its complexity, and in doing so, we allow ourselves to experience the fullness of the blessings it has to offer. To receive is to surrender, to let go of the need for perfection, to release the belief that everything must look a certain way in order to be good. It's about embracing the imperfect, the messy, the unpredictable nature of life, knowing that within it all there are blessings. There are lessons, there is growth, and there is beauty. Every moment, every encounter, every situation offers us something to receive. The challenge is in being open to it. But being open requires trust. It requires the trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should, even when we don't understand it. We often get frustrated when things don't go the way we planned, when life doesn't look like we thought it would. But perhaps the real blessing lies in the unexpected twists and turns, the moments when life takes us off course, when we find ourselves in unfamiliar territory, unsure of where we are headed. It's in those moments that we are most open to receiving something new, something transformative, something that will change us in ways we cannot yet understand. There's a great power in being open to life's surprises. It's in this openness that we find our deepest growth, our truest selves. When we stop clinging to the familiar, to the known, we allow ourselves to step into the unknown with courage, with faith, and with the knowledge that no matter what happens, we will always be okay. Because we are always receiving. We are always growing. We are always being shaped by the experiences that come our way. And as we continue to walk through life, it's important to remember that receiving is not just about taking in what is good. It's also about receiving what challenges us. We cannot pick and choose only the pleasant moments. To truly receive means accepting everything that comes, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it doesn't make sense. because it's in those uncomfortable moments that we learn the most about ourselves. It's in the tough times that we discover our inner strength, our capacity for resilience, and our ability to rise above adversity. The world does not owe us anything. Life does not owe us happiness, success, or ease. But what life does offer us in every moment is an invitation to receive the lessons, to receive the blessings, to receive the love and grace that are already here. We are constantly being offered opportunities to grow, to expand, to evolve. And every single moment is a chance to receive something new, something that will help us become the person we are meant to be. Receiving is about trust. It's about knowing that we are not alone, that we are not abandoned in the struggles of life. It's about trusting that even when we cannot see the way forward, there is a greater plan unfolding, a plan that is filled with blessings and opportunities. Even in the moments that feel difficult or uncertain, life is not about control, it's about surrender, about letting go, about being open to everything that comes. When we choose to receive, we open ourselves to the fullness of life, to the joy, the pain, the beauty, and the lessons that come with it all. So as you continue on your journey, remember this: you're worthy of receiving all the goodness that life has to offer. You are worthy of love, of joy, of peace, of success, of everything that you desire. You are worthy simply because you exist, simply because you are a part of this vast, beautiful world. The blessings are already here, waiting for you to receive them. The question is, are you open to receiving them? Are you ready to step into each day with an open heart, ready to accept the gifts that are waiting for you just as you are? The beauty of receiving is that it's not just about taking in the good, it's about embracing every moment, every feeling, and every experience. So often we think we have to constantly strive to deserve the things that come into our lives. We set conditions for our worth, believing we must achieve, prove, or change in some way before we can truly experience the fullness of life. But this mindset only keeps us in a cycle of striving, never fully able to rest, to be present, to receive the love and grace that is our birthright. You see, when we are constantly striving, we are often blind to the blessings that surround us. We are so focused on the future, on the next step, on the things we think we need to do or have, that we fail to recognize what is already in front of us. It's in the small, everyday moments where the real blessings are found: the sound of the wind rustling through the trees, the quiet hum of the world as it moves, the warmth of a hug, or the simple pleasure of a good meal. These moments may seem small, but they are not insignificant. They are filled with blessings waiting for you to see them. When you choose to receive, you give yourself permission to let go of the pressure to achieve or to be perfect. You stop measuring your worth by what you do or what you have, and instead start seeing your worth in the simple fact that you are alive, that you are part of this vast, interconnected world. The moment you stop chasing the future and begin embracing the present, you open yourself to the abundance that is always there, just waiting to be noticed. But even when things don't go as planned, even when life feels heavy or uncertain, receiving is still possible. This is where trust comes into play. The trust that even when things don't make sense, even when you can't see the bigger picture, life is still unfolding perfectly for you. When you trust that everything is happening as it should, whether you can see it or not, you allow yourself to be open to receiving the wisdom that comes from life's challenges. It's in those hard times that you find resilience, strength, and patience. It's in the discomfort, the uncertainty, the moments of doubt that you are given the opportunity to grow. And in that growth lies one of life's greatest blessings: the ability to become who you are meant to be. Every experience, every challenge, every victory, and every setback is a part of your journey. No moment is wasted, no experience is ever for nothing. Every step, every breath, every encounter is shaping you. When you begin to receive that truth, you open yourself to a deeper understanding of your purpose, your worth, and your place in the world. You begin to see that every moment has value, that you are valuable not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Receiving is not just about taking in the good. It's about allowing yourself to be shaped by life itself. It's about being willing to learn, to grow, to evolve with each passing day. It's about being open to the lessons life brings, even when they come disguised as challenges. The wisdom, strength, and grace that you gain through those moments are some of the greatest blessings you can receive. And it's in those moments that you become more in tune with yourself, more in touch with the essence of who you truly are. There is so much power in simply accepting life as it comes, without resistance, without judgment, and without the constant pressure to change it. When you stop fighting against the flow of life, You allow yourself to be carried by it. You trust that every moment holds something for you, even if you can't always see it in the moment. You trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and that you are right where you need to be. Receiving is a practice, a continuous act of surrendering, of allowing, of trusting. The more you practice this, the more you begin to notice how much you have to be grateful for, how much beauty is present in every moment. Life is full of blessings, small and large, and they are all around you all the time. When you open yourself to receiving them, you open yourself to living a life filled with meaning, growth, and abundance. And so the invitation is simple to receive, to accept life in all its fullness, to embrace every moment, every experience, and every feeling, knowing that in doing so, you are allowing yourself to live the most authentic version of yourself. You are giving yourself the gift of presence, of being truly alive, of walking through the world with open hands, ready to receive all that it has to offer. There will be moments when it feels hard to receive, when you're faced with difficulty, with uncertainty, or with pain. But those are the moments when receiving is most important. It's in those moments that you need to remember that you are worthy of the lessons, the wisdom, and the strength that come from those challenges. It's in those moments that you need to trust that there is a greater plan unfolding, and that every experience is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. You are worthy of all the blessings life has to offer, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And all you need to do is receive. It's not about earning, it's not about striving. It's about being open to what is already yours, being willing to let life fill you with its gifts, and trusting that everything is happening as it should. The blessings are already here, right in front of you. All that is left is for you to open your heart and embrace them. There's a quiet strength in receiving that we often overlook in the rush of our daily lives. It is not in the effort, the striving, or the endless pursuit of goals that we find our deepest fulfillment. No, true fulfillment is born in the art of simply being, of allowing ourselves to rest in the flow of life, to receive what comes without resistance. It is in the pause, the moment of surrender, that we experience the richness of the world around us. To receive is to accept what is, without needing to change it, without needing to control it. This is where true peace begins. When we release the constant need to control, to fix, to make things happen, we give ourselves permission to rest in the present. We stop living for the future and we start living for today. Every moment is a gift, every breath a blessing. And when we allow ourselves to receive it all without judgment, without fear, we unlock a level of peace that is beyond measure. The beauty of receiving is that it brings us into harmony with the universe. There is a rhythm to life, a flow that moves through all of us, connecting us to everything around us. When we fight against that flow, when we try to swim upstream, we exhaust ourselves. But when we allow ourselves to be carried by the current, when we trust that the universe is guiding us exactly where we need to go, we find ourselves in alignment with the natural order of things. Everything starts to feel easier, lighter, because we are no longer struggling against the current. Instead, we are moving with it, trusting that it will take us exactly where we need to be. There is a deep wisdom in this surrender. It is the wisdom of knowing that we do not have to figure everything out, that we do not need to control every aspect of our lives. We are part of something much bigger than ourselves, a vast and intricate web of existence. And when we trust in that interconnectedness, we begin to see that everything is working for our good. Even in moments of difficulty, there is a deeper purpose unfolding. Even in moments of pain, there are lessons waiting to be learned, wisdom waiting to be gained. In those moments, we may not be able to see the blessings right away. It is easy to become consumed by the discomfort, to become fixated on what is wrong or what we wish were different. But if we allow ourselves to step back, if we let go of the need to control, we can begin to see the bigger picture. We can begin to see that every experience is an opportunity for growth, an invitation to expand, to stretch ourselves into the person we are becoming. The process of receiving is not just about taking in the good moments, but also about accepting the challenges, the discomfort, and the uncertainty. It's about being willing to sit with the unknown, to not have all the answers, to trust that we are exactly where we need to be. When we release the need to control or predict the future, we make space for life to surprise us. We make space for miracles to happen, for unexpected blessings to come into our lives in ways we could never have anticipated. The beauty of receiving lies in this openness, this willingness to surrender to the flow of life, to trust that what is meant for us will find its way to us. It's not about forcing things, not about chasing after what we think we need, but about aligning ourselves with the natural rhythm of the universe. When we stop pushing and start allowing, we create space for abundance to flow freely into our lives. Think about the times in your life when things seem to fall into place effortlessly. Maybe it was a moment when you let go of a worry, a fear, or a desire, and suddenly everything around you seemed to align. That was the moment when you opened yourself up to receiving. You stopped fighting against what was, and instead you allowed life to unfold on its own terms. In those moments, you were in perfect harmony with the universe, and everything flowed effortlessly. But we are often taught to resist this flow. We are taught that we must work hard, struggle, and fight to get what we want. We are conditioned to believe that we are not worthy unless we earn something, unless we prove ourselves. But what if the opposite were true? What if everything you need is already within you? What if all you had to do was accept it? Receiving is about acknowledging that you are already whole, already worthy, already enough. It's about stopping the cycle of self-doubt, of constantly trying to prove your worth to the world, and instead recognizing the value that already exists within you. You don't need to earn the good things in life, you simply need to open yourself up to them. Life is not a race, and your worth is not defined by your achievements. Your worth is inherent, just as the blessings in your life are. When you embrace this truth, when you realize that you are worthy of receiving simply because you exist, you begin to see the world in a different light. You start to recognize the countless blessings that are already around you. You see the kindness in the people you meet, the beauty in the world, and the potential in every moment. You begin to see that every experience, every high, every low is a gift, a lesson, a stepping stone on your journey. Receiving is about being present with what is. It is about accepting the present moment without wishing for something else, without longing for the past or yearning for the future. When we stop comparing our lives to others, when we stop looking at what we don't have and start appreciating what we do, we open ourselves up to the fullness of life. We stop living in a state of lack and start living in a state of abundance. There is power in gratitude. The more we cultivate gratitude, the more we open ourselves to receiving. When we are grateful for the small things, the warmth of the sun, the smile of a stranger, the feeling of peace, we begin to attract more of those things into our lives. Gratitude is a magnet for blessings because it shifts our focus from what we don't have to what we do. It shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, and in doing so, it invites more goodness into our lives. The more we practice receiving, the more we begin to understand that it is not about the quantity of blessings we receive, but the quality of our experience with them. It's about truly appreciating each moment, each encounter, each lesson, and finding joy in the simple act of being alive. We are all part of a larger story, a beautiful and intricate tapestry that is constantly evolving. And when we allow ourselves to receive, we become active participants in this grand narrative. In the end, receiving is about being fully present, being fully alive, and being fully yourself. It is about trusting that life is unfolding perfectly for you when you cannot see it. It is about knowing that you are enough just as you are, and that everything you need is already within you. When you let go of the need to control, when you release the pressure to do more, be more, or have more, you make space for the blessings that are waiting for you. You make space for the miracles, the love, the peace, and the joy that are always there, just waiting for you to receive them. Receiving is a gift, and the more you open yourself to it, the more you will find that life is full of abundance, full of grace, and full of blessings. The question is not whether or not you deserve it, but whether or not you are willing to receive it. Life is always offering you more and more love, more peace, more beauty, more joy, and it is your choice whether or not you are ready to accept it. So take a moment, breathe deeply, and open your heart. Life is waiting to bless you. Will you receive? To truly receive is to be present without reservation, to stop hesitating and simply accept what comes into your life with open arms. The blessings that life offers are not always wrapped in neat packages. Sometimes they come in the form of challenges, of obstacles, or moments of uncertainty. But even in those seemingly difficult times, there is something valuable to receive, something transformative to gain. It is in the hardships that we often find our greatest lessons, our deepest growth, and our most profound insights. Consider how many times in your life you have faced something difficult, something you thought would break you, only to come out stronger on the other side. Those moments were not wasted. They were the times when you received strength, resilience, and courage that you may not have known you possessed. Life was giving you exactly what you needed, even if it didn't look the way you had imagined it. That's the beauty of receiving. It doesn't always come in the way we expect, but it always brings what is needed. When we choose to receive, we choose to trust the process of life. We stop trying to micromanage every detail and allow the unfolding of events to take its course. We realize that we cannot control everything, but we can control how we respond. And in that response, there is power. In every reaction, we have the choice to receive the experience fully, to take it in, learn from it, and allow it to shape us into more authentic versions of ourselves. Receiving is also about forgiveness, the forgiveness of ourselves and others. How many times have we held on to grudges, to past pain, or to mistakes that we could not let go of? How much energy have we wasted in refusing to receive peace because we were holding on to old wounds? When we allow ourselves to forgive, we open ourselves to healing. We release the weight of resentment and make room for love, for peace, for joy. For joy. Forgiveness is an act of receiving, an act of clearing the path for new blessings to enter. In many ways, receiving is an act of surrender. It is about surrendering to the present moment, to the mystery of life, and to the wisdom that each experience offers. When we surrender, we are no longer fighting against the current. Instead, we let go and allow ourselves to be guided. We let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives and instead trust that everything will fall into place exactly as it should. This surrender doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means embracing the flow of life, trusting that you are exactly where you need to be, and being open to receiving whatever comes next. And when we surrender, we also surrender our expectations. So often we are attached to how things should look, to how we think life is supposed to unfold. We set our hearts on specific outcomes, and when things don't turn out the way we imagine, we feel disappointed or frustrated. But when we let go of those expectations, we free ourselves from the need for perfection and open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. There is so much more to receive when we let go of the limited vision of what we think we want and allow life to surprise us with what it actually has in store. The beauty of receiving is that it is not something you have to work for. It is not something that must be earned or proven. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. Life is always offering, always giving, and all you have to do is be open to it. It's about embracing the imperfection of life, about accepting that you do not have to be ready or worthy in the traditional sense. You are already worthy because you are alive, because you are a part of this vast, beautiful world. The blessings do not come because you have earned them. They come because you are part of the flow of life, and life is always flowing towards you. In the same way, receiving is about learning to listen to your own inner voice, your own intuition. So often we are busy looking outside of ourselves for answers, for validation, for approval, that we forget to tune into the wisdom that already resides within us. Each of us has an innate knowing, an inner compass that can guide us through life. When we begin to listen to that voice, when we trust ourselves, we open ourselves to receiving the guidance we need. It's in those moments of stillness, when we allow ourselves to be quiet and receptive, that we begin to hear the whispers of our soul, leading us in the direction that is right for us. The act of receiving also invites us to be compassionate, both with ourselves and with others. It asks us to acknowledge our own humanity, our flaws, our vulnerabilities, and to recognize that we are not perfect, and that's okay. We are all learning, all growing, and when we extend compassion to ourselves, we are better able to extend it to others. Compassion opens the heart, softens the edges, and allows us to connect with one another in deeper, more meaningful ways. It reminds us that we are all part of the same human experience, that we are all worthy of love and kindness, no matter where we are on our journey. And when we are compassionate with ourselves, when we give ourselves permission to receive love, grace, and forgiveness, we begin to experience life in a new way. We stop seeing ourselves as broken or lacking, and instead we see ourselves as whole, as enough just as we are. This shift in perspective changes everything. It changes how we approach challenges, how we interact with others, and how we experience the world. When we are open to receiving, we stop living in scarcity and we begin to live in abundance. We see the world not as a place of lack, but as a place full of endless possibilities, full of blessings waiting to be embraced. The act of receiving is not just an individual practice, it is a collective one as well. When we open ourselves to receiving, we also open ourselves to giving. The two are interconnected, intertwined in a dance of generosity and grace. As we receive from life, from the people around us, from the universe, we are called to share what we have received. We are called to pass on the blessings, the love, the wisdom, and the grace that have been gifted to us. In doing so, we create a cycle of abundance, a flow of energy that uplifts not just ourselves, but everyone we encounter. Receiving is not a one-time act, it is an ongoing practice, a way of being in the world. It is a way of choosing to show up, to be present, to be open to everything that life offers, knowing that there is always something to be gained, something to be learned, something to be appreciated. Life will continue to offer its blessings, and the question is not whether they will come, but whether you will be willing to receive them. So as you go through your day, as you face challenges and triumphs, remember this: you are worthy of all that life has to offer. You are worthy of love, of peace, of joy, of every blessing that comes your way. The blessings are already here, waiting for you to open your heart and receive them. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to earn anything. All you need to do is trust, surrender, and receive. And in doing so, you will discover that life is not something you need to chase. It is something you can simply embrace, knowing that it is always offering you exactly what you need. In the end, receiving is not about seeking perfection or constantly striving for more. It is about embracing the present moment, trusting in the flow of life, and being open to all that it brings. Life is always offering blessings, both big and small, and all we need to do is open our hearts to receive them. It is not through effort or control that we find fulfillment, but through surrender, acceptance, and gratitude. When we allow ourselves to receive, we acknowledge our inherent worth and connect more deeply with the world around us. By practicing the art of receiving, we open the door to greater peace, joy, and abundance, not only for ourselves, but for those we share our lives with. So remember that every moment is an opportunity to receive. Choose to embrace it, knowing that life is always giving, and you are always worthy of its gifts.